Welcome to this week's What Sold video. If you're new here, I'm Katie and I sell part-time on eBay and Poshmark, mostly when my kids are at school. I go thrifting a few times a week. I list the cool things I find, and then I share weekly thrift hauls with what I'm picking up to put in my reselling business and what sold videos with you every week. This week we're talking about February 2nd through 9th, and I did not have a great sales week, but as part of my corner here on YouTube, I do share with you every week what sold. So I think it can be helpful, especially for me as someone who watches other reseller videos. It's helpful to see like what actually is selling so that when I'm out thrifting, I can see if I should pick things up or not. So we are gonna get into what sold. I'm gonna go over my numbers really quick first though. So I had 9 sales. My total item sales amount was $282.50. My cost of goods sold, or the amount that I paid for all the items that I'm sharing with you today, was $58.90. My total profit after I got my cost of goods returned to me and I paid eBay all the fees, because I didn't sell anything on Poshmark this week, was $170.29. My average sales price was $31.38, and I do have my store still promoted at 3%. Excluding items that I have listed in the last month or so. So I had 3 promoted sales out of the 9 sales, and with the exception of 1, all of them had been listed in the last about month. So that's probably why they didn't sell promoted, because I didn't have them as promoted listings. And I did have 1 return come in. It actually came in last night, which is the end of my sales week, so I'm sharing it with you. So let's just talk about that one first. So do we recognize this sweater? It's the Peruvian Connection alpaca sweater. And if you're new here, this is sold now 3 times in the past year. I got the most amount of money for it this time, $43 it sold for. I got a return request last night. They said that they changed their mind about it. So I do expect to be getting that back. So I'll lose my profit of $26.32 on it because I do have $8.99 into the sweater. I will get my $1.50 back in promoted fees that I paid for it. And I'll also get my regular eBay fees that I paid of $6.75 back. And I'm wondering if I should list it again or if I need to just 3 strikes, you're out it. So what would you do? I'm considering putting no returns on it. For some reason, I continue to let 14-day returns stay on it. I'm thinking about putting a no return on it and maybe listing it at $40 so that someone feels like they're getting a good deal and maybe they'll be less likely to return it. What would you do? Let me know. Okay, the first sale that I had for the week was this REI Co-op men's size medium raincoat. It was unlined, unlined, and it was in really good condition. I picked it up from Goodwill for $9.99, and I actually picked it up thinking that I would get it for my daughter, but I didn't look closely enough at it to see that it was a men's size medium. I just picked it up because it was REI Co-op and it was this nice blue color that she likes. So I ended up listing it for $35, and after a while, I got an offer for $29, 92 days, so actually not bad. And I accepted, so I made a total profit of $13.05 and paid $1.06 in promoted fees on that one. Raincoats, I think, should start selling a little bit better now as we head into the spring, which traditionally we get rain in a lot of the country, I would think. So, if you have rain gear, I would definitely list that now. I see an uptick in March for selling rain type items. Next up, I sold the Nick and Nora flannel pajama set that I picked up. This turned out to be in not as good condition as I thought. It had pretty significant wash wear to it. I did sweater shave it in several spots. The pants didn't have the drawstring in them. There was a pen mark on the leg. So I just mentioned all that in my listing, and I listed them a bit lower at $45. But the print on them, the novelty print of squirrels and acorns, was so special that I did feel like I would get close to $45. I got several offers on Poshmark for $25, $30, which I declined. And then on eBay, I sent out a 10% off offer to someone who was watching of $40.50, and they accepted. So I made $27.48 off of this set of pajamas because I only paid $5.99 for them at Goodwill, which was amazing. And they sold in 1 week, 7 days. They have a 50% sell-through rate on their flannel pajamas. So if you can be on the lookout for them, even in fair condition, I would pick them up. Next up is a Luca Vannucci size extra large 100% linen tank top. This was just a really lightweight tank top that I picked up from Goodwill for $2.99. When things are slow and thrifting is slow, I will often go over to the tank top section because I find that there's this one Goodwill that I go to that they don't price their tank tops up like many other stores would. So they'll be about $2.99 or $3.99. So I picked it up because of the sustainable linen nature of it, and it did have a flaw. So 3 of the items that I sold this week had flaws. I sell flawed items every single week. It was just a little bit of stretching to the seams at the underarm, so no holes, but I did take close-ups of the seams so that the person would see. I had it listed at $20 and I received an offer for $17, which I accepted. No, $15 I got an offer for, so I accepted. I made $8.78 off of that in 16 days. Linen is going to start selling very well also because the spring is usually when people like to start stocking up on their lightweight items for the spring and summer. And that one wasn't promoted either. This is a Figs size extra, extra large set of scrub tops. I definitely have these in a thrift haul. I picked these up because there were 2 of them in exactly the same size and they were both in excellent condition. Otherwise, I'm only picking up Figs scrub sets, but that my days could be numbered on that because I was at Goodwill last week and they had scrub tops for $20. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pop up a picture of the tag. I was shocked when I saw that. So I am possibly done picking up scrubs. I don't know. I had $11.98 into these because one of the tops was $6.99 and one of the tops was $4.99. I had them listed on Posh and eBay, and I received an offer for $35 on eBay. They didn't sell promoted, but I was promoting this item. So somebody was looking specifically for these. I made $16.64 in 85 days. So still selling the Figs scrubs under 90 days. So they're a good pickup if you can get them for cheap. My next sale was this Fjall Raven women's size small Ovic Nordic sweater in chalk white, and it retails for $195. It's 100% wool. Did I say that? I probably did. And I had it listed for $65 here on eBay and on Poshmark. I received several offers quickly on these for $35, $45, and with the help of my family, they told me, just hold out. So I didn't accept those offers. I had $8.99 into this from Goodwill, and somebody came out on eBay and they paid $65 for it. I had seen a sold comp for $59, so that helped me to stay firm with the $65 asking price, and I got it, so that's great. And I have no returns on this either, so hopefully the buyer really likes it. I made $46 in 7 days, so that was probably my best sale of the week. Next up is a Title IX women's pair of Incredibordi board shorts. They retail for $65. They have UPF sun protection in them, so I made sure to put that in the title. I had them listed for $40. I sent out a 10% off offer to a liker, and they accepted for $36. So I ended up making, how much did I make? $21.76 off of those in 29 days. I paid $6.99 for those at the standard price thrift store, where their standard price is $6.99, but something happened with the way that they were checking me out and I didn't really look closely. So when I got home and looked at my receipt, it was $6.99. So that's what I have in my spreadsheet. So we're gonna go with that. And I did pay $1.31 in promoted fees on this one. I had a local sale after this. It's this Merlin's baby sleep suit. and they retail for $50. I picked it up at Goodwill for $2.99. And instead of listing it online, I decided to list it locally. After I picked it up, I realized that I'm not totally comfortable listing like sleep aid type things in the baby category on eBay. Just, I don't know. It made me a little uncomfortable. So I decided that I would just list it locally and someone could, look at it totally before buying it from me. So I listed it for $20. Somebody wanted to pay $20 for it. So I made $17.01 off of that in just a couple days. 7 days. So that was really good. 2 more sales. Another tank top sale. This is a hot hippie or haute hippie size large suntan gold tank top. It had like little rhinestone bedazzle all over, and it even had a little baggie on the inside of the tank that had extra bedazzle in case you lose a rhinestone or two. You can just hot glue some back on there. It retailed for a lot. It says it retails for $99. So I don't know if there's different levels of haute hippie or hot hippie, because I've seen it at TJ Maxx, and then I've seen like more expensive, nicer materials, such as a tank top that I sold that had a silk shell, and this is modal, so those are nicer materials. So I'm not totally sure about this brand, but I had it listed for $30 just to see how it would do. I had $3.99 into it. It was new with tags. I received a counter offer to an offer that I sent out of $22. So after accepting that, I made $13.80 in 38 days, and I didn't have this one promoted either. My last sale of the week was a learning experience, and it's a Jams World women's shirt, and Jams World does really well. It's a Hawaiian shirt and dress and men's shirts brand, and they're made in Hawaii, and they're usually 100% rayon. They have these really fun prints to them, and I've sold their Hattie dresses 3 times really quickly and for a good amount, like $40 to $50 each. So when I see Jams World, I just pick it up now. Well, I picked this shirt up for $4.99 thinking I got a screaming deal, and it turned out that it had like holes in the chest that I just didn't see when I was at the store because I was brand blind. I was so excited I picked it up. So I had it listed for $28, and I had free shipping on this item because I had taken all the pictures and done everything. And as I was doing my final packaging of it, as I do when I'm done processing my items, I have them all packaged up so that they're ready to sell. I noticed, so I just decided I'm gonna list it lower rather than to just get rid of it altogether and not list it. So I had fair condition on it. Somebody offered me $20 for it, and I accepted because it had been listed for 141 days. They did sell promoted too. So I had 66 cents in promoted fees. And I made $5.77 off this shirt, which I guess is better than redonating. I don't know if I would redonate something that has holes in it. But rather than just disposing of it and losing my $4.99. So that was a learning experience. I have those every single week. If I have not bored you completely, and maybe you've been here a couple times before, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel and hitting like, that helps to get my videos out, hopefully to more people who like watching What's Sold videos like this. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.